If you just got handed a PIP, please stop. Don't sign anything yet. Do not go home and Google how to survive a PIP either. Do not start updating your resume in a panic either. Just wait. There is a timeline your employer is already running, and they started it before they even handed you that PIP paperwork. And most people do not find out about it until it is way too late to do anything to protect themselves. I'm Jen. I got managed out of a long corporate career and I negotiated my own exit. I also built the unobsolete because I was really tired of watching good people get outplayed by a system that they did not even know existed. So today I am going to show you that timeline, and I am going to show you how to run your own timeline. So here's what most people do when they actually get a PIP. They either fight it and they work super hard and they work themselves into the ground trying to hit impossible goals, or they just panic and they quit their job. Both of those moves actually will cost you. Sometimes they cost you very dearly. Sometimes they cost you everything, because what nobody tells you is that when you got the PIP, a clock had already started. Your employer already knows what is on the other end of it. So you just don't know it yet. Let me be honest with you. A performance improvement plan, in most cases, is a paper trail, and that is the main thing that it does. Companies use them oftentimes to build a written record before they let somebody go. That doesn't mean that every single PIP ends in being fired, but it does mean that you need to know what you were looking at and what you were dealing with. A PIP does one of three things for your employer. One, it creates a documentation trail that says they warned you and that they gave you options and they gave you a chance. Two, it puts a timeline on the process. So that's going to move things forward in a controlled way. And three, it puts pressure on you, which bets that you will either quit on your own or fail to meet the goals that they have outlined. Either one is going to save them from a messy situation. So when you look at that PIP, I want you to look for three distinct things. Are the goals specific and are they measurable? Or are they just vague and impossible? Vague goals are hard to prove that you hit them. That is not an accident on their part. Is the timeline realistic, or are they giving you 30 days to do something that would normally take up to 6 months to complete? And who is deciding if you succeed? Is it the same person who put you on the PIP in the first place? Write all of that down. We are going to come back to that in just a minute. Here's the clock that they are not showing to you. Before you even got that PIP, HR was already involved. In many cases, legal was consulted as well. They had already mapped out what they want to happen if you succeed, what happens if you don't succeed, and they thought through the entire scenario before you walked into that room. In the first 2 weeks, they are watching how you respond to that PIP. So, did you push back in writing? Did you ask questions that show that you know your legal rights? And did you start keeping records? How you act in this window tells them a lot about how and what your exit is going to cost them. At the end of the PIP period, if you have not met the goals, termination is going to move forward in many cases. That is when they offer a severance package, and most people at this point are so scared and so tired and worn down that they sign whatever is put in front of them. That is exactly what they are counting on you doing. Okay, so now I'm going to show you your particular timeline and clock. Day one, the day you get the PIP, you sign it. Don't refuse to sign it. Courts have ruled that refusing to sign a PIP can actually be treated as insubordination, which also gives them a reason to fire you faster. So you do not want any of that. So go ahead and sign it. But here's what you need to do. Before you sign, or right next to your signature, you need to write this: signing to acknowledge receipt only. I do not agree with the contents of this document. That sentence is your protection. It says, yes, I received the PIP. It does not say that you agree with anything in it. In day 2 through day 7, you start building your record immediately. Every email, every meeting note, and every time you hit a goal, you document it and you send it to your manager by email, not verbally. An email is timestamped. That timestamp is yours. At the same time, look at when this PIP arrived. Did it show up right after you took some sort of medical leave, or right after you maybe filed an HR complaint, or right after you reported something was wrong within the company? The timing of a PIP really matters legally. A PIP that arrives right after you did something protective is a very different situation than a PIP that arrives on its own timeline. Week 2 through week 4, you need to talk to an employment attorney. Most will offer free consultations. Now, you're not doing this to plan on suing anyone just yet. You are doing this so that if this is heading towards an exit, you are not walking into that exit blind. And if it is heading towards an exit, you do not wait for them to decide when and how that happens. You start that conversation on your own timeline. And here's your first safe move. It takes under 10 minutes to do this, and it is so important. Pull out that PIP, read every goal. For everyone, ask yourself, is this specific? Is this something that I can actually measure? Is it doable in the timeline that they gave me? Write your answers down in a document that you keep off of your company devices, personal devices only. That document is the start of your paper trail. They gave you a timeline. Now, you have one as well. And if you want to know exactly what to write down and how to build your documentation record, I have the documentation war room linked below in the description. And if you need anything else, remember, I'm Jen. This is the Unobsolete Build They Can't Take.